Well, it has finally happened. 50,000 subscribers. Well, actually it happened a few weeks ago, but bear with me, I've been a bit busy. Now that we are at this level, we are larger than 8 fully sovereign countries. Vatican City, Tuvalu, Nauru, Palau, San Marino, Monaco, Liechtenstein, and St. Kitts and Nevis. We're coming for you, Dominica! We are also almost halfway up to filling up the world's largest arena. Man, North Korea went crazy on that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the actual Q&A. Will you answer this question in the Q&A? Sure. How much effort do you have to put into every video? I would say a medium amount. My videos aren't actually all that complex to make, but I do put in plenty of hard work to at least try to make them look good and be accurate. Basically, I work hard to make them look like I worked hard on them. How come you use fully drawn countries with borders and all that with the eyes instead of using Poland ball country balls? Well, the style was inspired by Poland ball, but I decided that this would be a good way of kind of putting my own unique spin on it. People have told me in the past that I should just stop and switch to Poland ball, but no, I like having my own style, thank you very much. What will you do if your state, Oregon, was an independent country? Hope I would get dual citizenship just in case. What languages do you speak? I am of course a native English speaker, but I can also speak German and some Spanish, and I know a little bit of Turkish. Wenn man in Berlin wohnt, ist es sehr wichtig, Deutsch zu lernen, und ich habe es für eine lange Zeit gelernt. Mi español no es perfecto, pero lo he aprendido para 4 años en la escuela y es muy útil en los Estados Unidos. Ben de biraz Türkçe konuşuyorum ama çok değil ve çok iyi değil. What do you think about Gambia? I find it kind of cool how there's a country out there shaped like a river. Where does the Indiana-Luxembourg joke come from? What does it mean? It comes from this old video I made on why China didn't colonize the Americas, just as a kind of one-off remark. If you haven't seen the video, I'll play you the snippet of what I'm talking about.
From the end of the 15th century, European powers established colonies in North and South America to boost their economies back home. These countries mainly included England, France, Spain, and Portugal, but less notably also included the Netherlands, Sweden, Scotland, Denmark, Russia, and even Luxembourg. Okay, maybe not Luxembourg, but you get the point.
How old are you? Square root the time between the Bas des Ardents and the start of the French and Indian War. There, practice your math and history knowledge. Have you ever been to Mexico? What are your views on Mexico? I have never been to Mexico, but I would like to go someday. I guess the easiest way I could do so is to take a day trip to Tijuana next time I'm in Southern California, but I'd personally much rather go somewhere a bit deeper down into the country if I ever get the chance. Are you German? No, I just live here now. What language do you have an odd affinity for? Honestly, probably Turkish. I don't know why, but it's just a really interesting sounding language to me. If you could wake up tomorrow speaking a new language, what language would it be and why? Probably a language that would be very useful in a lot of countries, so probably something like Arabic or maybe French or maybe even Russian. Although if I'm getting the chance to instantly learn another language without having to put in the effort, I think I would actually like to take that opportunity to learn a very hard language like Arabic or Mandarin. What is your favorite state and favorite country? I actually really don't like superlative questions because I don't like picking favorites, but I'll try to give you an answer here. My favorite US state might be either Oregon or Colorado, and I would say my favorite country is Germany, but besides that, probably Canada. I mean, Canada's always on the good list, and they were the first country I visited outside the US. AM or PM? 24-hour time. In all seriousness, probably AM for the exact reason that I'm not much of a morning person. I really don't like getting up early, but whenever I do manage to do so, it's always nice to see what I usually miss. Why are the Netherlands and California looking so angry at each other? They came along with the punctuation marks for the giant 50,000. Of course, California, being American, says there should be a comma, while the Netherlands, being European, insists that there should be a dot. Play Hearts of Iron 4! Not a question, but still a request I get a lot. But this is what I would be playing and presumably also recording it on if I did it right now. Side note, does anyone know of any good screen capture programs for Macs other than QuickTime? Do you have a girlfriend or a wife? Not a girlfriend, and if you figured out my age, certainly not a wife. Do you watch Pewds? Well, what country would you like to live in? What country do you want to visit the most? Okay, I guess I'll do it like I do on the KhAnubis Discord server. Sometimes, if I can't do Germany, then I'll do Spain. That I haven't visited, Italy. That I already have, Turkey. Describe your dream sandwich. Well, if doner kebabs don't count, then maybe one with like soft white bread, really any kind of cheese, plenty of cold cuts, and mustard and mayo. I'm not exactly much of a sandwich connoisseur, but still. Are you optimistic or pessimistic about the future of the European Union? I guess I would say more optimistic. I feel like the EU will pull through just fine, with or without Britain, although it is important to acknowledge all of the EU's flaws. The EU does have a lot of flaws, with things like transparency and appearing undemocratic a lot of the time. The EU has a lot of critics, and while I personally disagree with most of their talking points, it is important to at least acknowledge that they didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Best thing about Portland? Amazing nature and one of the best airports I've ever been to around the world. Opinions on Denmark? I think it would be really cool to go there someday, especially given my relative proximity. Do you think you should make a second channel about random conversational things? I actually already do have a second channel, KhAnubis Unplugged, where I've been wanting to do stuff like that, but for whatever reason I haven't exactly seized the chance yet. Maybe if you all go there and subscribe, I'll put some more stuff there. What's a topic that you want to do a video on but has intimidated you because of its complexity? Well, just a couple weeks ago, I started working on a video explaining all the different kinds of national subdivisions in the world, like states, provinces, oblasts, prefectures, voivodeships, and just what they all mean. But I'm yet to make a good, compelling script for that. I've also been working on a video on why rivers actually make for terrible borders, but the real struggle there was actually making the script longer than 400 words. I also have a few science-related videos that I didn't feel qualified enough to answer, especially when there's certainly no lack of actually qualified science communicators here on YouTube. Of course, now I'm probably never going to make those, now that I know how badly a video will do if it contains merely a hint of science. Do you have a favorite German word or saying? Probably the word Rathaus, because it sounds like rat house but means city hall. That being said, I'm also quite fond of Rindfleischetikettierungsüberwachungsaufgabe im Betagungsgesetz. What inspired you to start your YouTube channel? Way back when I was 9 years old, I wanted to make movies out of Playmobil toys, as I had already seen many others do. I was interested in doing this, even though doing this was always kind of difficult to do. Then I stumbled across the YouTube science scene with channels like Vsauce, Miniphysics, CGB Grey, etc., and decided that that would be actually cooler to do. Then, over time, as I was doing both science and social studies topics, I found social studies topics easier to come up with ideas for and easier for me to explain. And finally, is this video sponsored? I am so glad you asked. No, actually it isn't. That's just something from my regular Sunday videos. Maybe I'll do that in future Q&A videos, but not this one. And that's it, at least for this round of Q's and A's. I'll do another one of these sometime soon, probably at 100,000 subscribers. Either way, thank you all for submitting your questions. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them, but whether you asked a question or not, thank you for subscribing to this channel over the years. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so we can get up to 100,000. My goal for that is by the end of the year, so I guess we'll see how that goes. That is kind of a crazy pie-in-the-sky goal, but then again, last year my goal was to hit 5,000, and yeah, that got blown out of the water. Okay, see you on Sunday.